Before that, on BBC One Northern Ireland, season ticket goes to downtown Belfast and a haven of hope for many of Ireland's boxers.
This is the story of John Breen, born and bred in Belfast. Quiet, unassuming, but a contradiction. By night his job is to break up fights.
John is around there.
But during the day, it's a different story.
Boxing's a hard-out sport. It's the hardest sport in the world. If you get through them ropes, there's only you and another guy there. If you're not good enough, you're going to get hurt. This is a real professional gym. These other gyms are make-believe gyms, you know. They've got all the best of gear. It doesn't make the better fighters, you know. I think the work and the training the fighters put in themselves makes them better fighters.
There's nothing fancy in this gym, it never has been, but it's always worked, it's always produced champions. When John was with the Eastwood stable, it was the same, it was a real sweatshop, and the same with this gym here.
There's other trainers in Northern Ireland and they've told their fighters, I'm not going in the Breen gym, it's too hard. What is boxing? It's not a belly dancing club, you know. Nobody gets hurt in here. You got to make it a black eye, but black guys get better in 2 or 3 days' time, you know, and that's the only way you learn your trade.
Anybody that comes through the door here, they're prepared to work hard, and otherwise John wouldn't have them.
But you could find a more modern gym, certainly. Would it have the same atmosphere? No. Would it have the same people? No.
Some fighters do become champions, some fighters not, but I'll do my best to make them a champion.
And making champions is what John Breen does best. He helped train 7 world champions at the famous Barney Eastwood gym.
He's a guy that lives for boxing. He's always been very interested in boxing, very, very keen for knowledge with boxing. And as a result of that, he joined the Eastwood gym in sometime about early 90s. John's a very honourable guy. He was good for the morale of the boxers, and the boxer always came first with John Breen. He loved the boxers, and sometimes he'd even spoil them a bit, you know.
I think we should all look happy. Don't you think so? But this is a team photograph, and we're all very proud of each other. We've done a great job.
I started working for Barney in Castle Street, and he had champions, Dave Boy Macaulay, Paul Hodkinson, Crisanto Espana, Victor Gordoba. They were world champions at the time. McGuigan had just left the gym at that time. Noel McGee, Crawford Owsley, Steve Collins. Nobody could have had a gym like it. It was a fantastic gym. Knowing all the boxers and becoming friends with boxers.
I'd say that to get a fighter fit for any contest, given any type of fighter, John Breen would be a top man to get him 99% fit on the night. He's always been very interested in putting them through their exercises, and he works them very hard on that. And I would say that was, you know, some of the great successes that we had in the gym was down to John being able to get the fighter really fit. And as you know, in all sports, there's a time when you can bring a guy to the peak, and then there's a time you can put him over the top where they go stale. And John was always good at putting them through their paces, getting them just right and peaking them at the right time. And he was always a guy that would have said, I think this fighter needs a couple of days off, a couple of days rest. He's coming right to the peak. So that was one of his great points, I thought.
But one fighter never remembers getting days off. The record book shows him to be the most successful Irish boxer of all time. And one of the toughest. Under the guidance of John Breen, he successfully defended his world flyweight title 5 times. And he still has the belt to prove it.
It was a killer match every day. This might sound not politically correct, whatever way you want to put it, but it was a murder picture every day. And I used to dread coming into the gym because I knew I was going to be in for a really hard day's work, because I was sparring with the best sparring partners in the world. Like, I was sometimes sparring with Barry McGuigan sparring partners who were maybe 9 stone or 9 stone 7, and I was learning a great deal from these fellas, but it was hurting me. I was put down 22 times in my fight career. And I lost count of how many times I was put down in the gym.
And I'm lost in admiration for this man's extraordinary courage.
I was world champion at the time. I was an even bigger notch in their belt if they'd have put me down or if they'd have knocked me out and during the sparring. And the more success they had against me, well, the better they felt. So I always had to be on my toes every day of the week. But you'd like to John in the background there, telling you what to do and shouting directions and stuff at you, you know, from the corner, and you were trying to implement all that, you know, during your sparring. But it was a really, really, really competitive gym.
I think Dave Boy McCullough was a better fighter than Barry McGuigan because he had harder fights, and sometimes I get annoyed now because McGuigan gets all the accolade about being the best Irish fighter. Like Dave Boy McCullough used to get put down in his fights. The only fight he didn't get put down his last fight was his last fight, world title fight. Every other fight he's put down his backside and he got up and he won the fights.
So Macaulay, from having been on the floor twice in the second round and looking close to defeat, is now very close to victory.
What a warrior. I keep saying to the boys, they're complaining about training. Dave Boy McCullough used to squeal, but he knew he had to do what it was doing with him, like making him work, because he knew he was going to put down and he had to be strong and fit enough to go up again, so that's why he had to work hard.
Barney Eastwood closed his gym in August of 1997 to pursue other interests. It could have spelt the end of an era for professional boxing, but John Breen had other ideas.
I think maybe when he was closing his gym down, he thought I'd finish him. And it probably would have been only for Tony David, the guy who owns the Monaco bar. I've been here coming to 10 years and he's never took a hit now before. It's my own gym, and Barney's gym was always Barney's gym, no matter who the trainers were. This used to be called Breen's gym. Used to be a gym in here, fit weightlifting gym, years ago, and it was called Breen's gym then.
A different Breen?
Different Breen. And he said, no, he said, call it Breen's gym. He says, it was always called Breen's gym, sure. It's your name, so that's what happened then, and just kept it there.
Now out on his own, John began searching for new fighters. And a Belfast man who had moved with him from the old Eastwood stable would become Breen's first champion. Eamon McGee boxed his way to Commonwealth and world titles.
And I remember John used to push me to the limit, and I used to curse him, I can't do this, I can't do that. But no, he always would have walked into it. I mean, and I think the achievements that he made says it all.
Eamon fought Ricky Hutton and put him down. I said to some people, Eamon McGee knock him out. Eamon McGee was trained very hard for the fight in the gym, and he looked super doing it. And you know, when he fought Ricky Hutton, put him down his backside.
And tries to fight him, he's caught by the counter, McGee! Oh, there was the danger!
Second round, Ricky Hutton didn't look to the corner and didn't know where he was.
What drama within the opening minute! That
That was the worst mistake I would say that ever happened to me in my life. It was the first round. The kid was too fresh. He's only 22 years of age. He was down and up. But you picture that happening in round 6, 7 or 8. That was the worst punch that I ever threw in my life. I'm sorry I ever threw the punch.
And then I found out after 3 or 4 weeks later, somebody came and told me that Ian was drinking up to 3 weeks before the fight. So obviously he wasn't doing no road work. So when he put Hutton down, had to get around the second round. Eamon had in his head that he was fit enough to go out. He went out and stopped Hutton in the third round, but he was scared of blowing up. He was scared of having nothing left in the tank, so he went out and he stood in the ropes and just let Ricky Hutton do all the attacking.
I would advise anybody that watches the fight to turn the volume down and score the fight themselves. Get a pen and paper and score the fight at 10-9 round, 10-9 round. And even to my eyes to this day, I still think I won the fight. Yeah, and I'm not being best.
Ricky Hutton didn't beat Ian McGee. Ian McGee beat himself.
What are you doing, McKees? Boxing is all my life. I mean, 32 years in the game, 32 years a game in any job. So you're a bricklayer or plaster in any job. It's a long time in any perspective, in any job. I'm just so glad that John gave me the opportunity that after I retired to give him a hand in the gym, and I think the two of us rub off very, very well with each other. I think we're very successful gym at the minute. You only see us on the night of the fight in the corner, but you don't see behind the scenes whenever we're in the gym. We're in this gym. There's times we're in this gym at 10:30 in the morning, and then we're in the gym at 1 o'clock, and then we're in the gym again at 6:30. I mean, there's times that with John and myself, we should move a bed in this gym and just live here. And the likes of Martin Rogan wins, and Paul McCluskey wins, Stephen Hawkley wins. It gives everybody a great buzz, and everybody just keeps on winning. I mean, our ambition this year is to be undefeated.
One of the current boxers to become a success story is Paul McCluskey. The Dungiven man was voted Irish Boxer of the Year in 2008.
It's a remarkable job that he's done, you know. I say it can be a thankless job, if you know what I mean, in a funny kind of way. But again, John loves what he does. He comes here twice a day, Monday to Friday, you know. Come down on Saturday mornings. It's on him now, you know. He's done it for his career. But again, it's us boys that are reaping the rewards of it, you know. So it's brilliant to have that.
Job for boxing. Job for very good at that. Good boy.
I plan to go a lot further, and I know John's going to be there with me, you know, so hopefully everything goes to plan.
It's the only strictly professional gym in Ireland, and I mean, you've only got to look at who he's turned out of the gym and what he's made of fighters. A few years ago there we were talking, and he said to me one day, he said, you know, when you first came to Barney Eastwood's gym, he said one day Tony came around and asked me what you were like. He says, and I told him, he's rubbish, but he's a strong kid. But he just stuck with me, and you know, he learnt me, and like everything that I have achieved in boxing is down to John Breen.
So do you have to be a successful boxer to be a successful trainer?
Well, the thing was the first time I won an Ulster juvenile title. I was 12 years of age. Won titles when I was 13, 14, 15, 16. Won 5 juvenile titles. I remember when I turned professional, I'd fought in the Ulster seniors, and I was favoured that time, and I fought again in the afternoon, and I beat him. And I'd fight that night again, and I fought a fella, and he beat me, got the decision. And I went down 2 weeks later to watch him fight in the final, and I said, "Geez, how did he beat me?" And Jerry Hosson was sitting behind me. He said, "Hey, do you want to turn professional?" And I said, "Okay," and I signed professional. I won my first 7 fights, I think, and I was going with the crest of the wave, but the money still wasn't getting good money. Like, the boys complain now about their wages. If they knew what I was getting for a fight, I was getting £50 a fight after 7 wins. So again, I went over to England one time to fight a guy, Tony Simpson. I got £120. I had to pay £60 from a flight over out of the £120. I got a hotel booked for me. I got a taxi to the venue, a taxi back to the airport the next day. It cost me maybe £20. I can't remember, but £20 I would say. And I came back and I gave £30 to the club where I was training, so I fought for £10. And the boys are saying now they're not getting enough money.
On paper, Breen's fighting career may have looked modest. He won just 8 of 27 professional bouts. But it was at his last contest as a pro that he was to receive his greatest reward.
My dad was promoting a show one night and on the Falls Road in Beachmount Leisure Centre, and John was on the bill and he was fighting this English guy, and everybody was shouting for John, with John being local and that.
And I heard the voice shouting, "Go on Dennis, go on Dennis."
And I think I was the only one in the arena that was shouting for
Dennis Price.
Is that who it was? Can't remember.
In the Falls Road, and somebody shouting against me from the Falls Road. I wonder who that was, you know.
That was the first time I noticed him.
And it's the best thing ever happened to me.
John describes his wife as a boxing widow. The unpredictable nature of professional fighting has meant family occasions and holidays have had to be sacrificed from time to time.
We don't have time together at home, really. We've had to reschedule so many holidays, you know, because something's came up. Maybe somebody's boxing at the last minute, and everything is just put on hold, and I don't even argue about it, you know. So I think he appreciates that side of things. I understand, you know, if something comes up, he has to go with it. It's his only vice. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he's a real good guy, and, you know, I like to give him the freedom to do that.
John and Laura have 2 sons, but boxing has provided them with an extended family.
Like a trainer's like a dad to a boxer, no matter who they are. If they don't attach themselves to the trainer and vice versa, it's not going to work out.
John, you know, I say this to everybody, you know, John does a lot to do with the door security work around the nightclubs, and whenever you're not training and you really want to go for a pint, the next Monday John gets to hear about it, where you are, who you're with, what you're doing, what time you left at, what taxi you get into. He'll not tell you that he's seen you out unless it comes up to, you maybe meant to do only 4 rounds in the pots, but he'll give you 6 or 7 because he knows you're out having a few drinks. It's like a father figure to me in the gym. He does that. It's not only with me, it's with everybody, and all the boys. He gets attached to all the boys in the gym.
However, not all of John Breen's dreams have been realised.
My biggest regret in boxing is Neil Sinclair not being able to win the world title. Neil Sinclair has the ability and the power to win a world title, and he didn't do it, and it'd break my heart when I finish boxing.
Won the British title with John, and I always thought my potential, you know, the potential to win a world title. But I tell you what, it's not over yet. There's still life in the old dog yet. I think that I'll still win a world title with John, and if anyone deserves it, it's John. John deserves a world champion, whether it be through me or whoever else in the gym. John deserves it.
But long before Neil Sinclair and Breen's gym were up and running, John had another fight on his hands, and this one was outside the ring.
I was a compulsive gambler, so sometimes I went away and fight and come back and paid any money I had, just give it the bookie with a holder to it. I had a grandfather who worked in the bookmakers, and my dad used to send me down, or my uncles used to send me down to have bets. I remember the first horse I backed. I had a shilling on a horse called Fawkett's Bridge. I think it was 10 years of age, that's 48 years ago, and the horse won at 108, which was 12, I got 12 and a half shillings back. That's the first horse I ever backed, and I would say I've lost millions since it, a million plus on it.
I didn't really know John was a gambler until one day I'd left something in his car, and I went to get it out of the car, and I saw the car parked outside this bookmaker's office, And I went in, and he didn't even notice me. He was never in a bookmaker's in my life, and he didn't even notice me. He was so engrossed at the screen, looking at the screen, and just was a bit taken aback by it, and didn't admit that he had a problem at that stage. And I never noticed it financially or anything like that, but it was really when our first son was born that he went to Gamblers Anonymous, and he wouldn't even buy a ballot ticket off, he wouldn't do the lottery or anything like that, he just sticks by the rules of Gamblers Anonymous, and hasn't looked back since.
And I have not about in 20 years now, and thank God for Gamblers Anonymous.
But if you were a betting man, your money would have been on John's fighters at the Craigavon fight night. Such is the confidence in Breen's team.
I can guarantee there's going to be 4 wins tonight. 4 out of 4.
One top! One top! Stay top! Stay working, man! Stay punching! One top, nigga! Stay there! Stay working! Stay punching! Stay working! Stay working, now!
John's the man, yeah. Great.
Stop this stuff. Just put your thing down. How do you call it?
He just told me to relax, keep the pressure on him, and eventually he'd go, and that's exactly what happened.
Come sit, give me breathe. Half step back on 1, 2. That's better. Every kid, bring it up. Left hook behind that.
Best man about it, the game, and I'm happy to be involved in the team and down in the gym.
Good job, do your job working. Reach, walk away. 1, 2, good boy. On the take, good boy. Pick up away. 1, 2, left hook. Good shot! Good job. It's the first one. Yeah, they're all going to win. They're all fit and strong. Bring your fist up there, boys.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. No, I'll take a good man to take us off into the night show.
John Breen, he'd certainly be a linchpin in the whole success and the whole rising tide of Irish boxing at the minute. He's a pleasure to deal with, the ultimate professional, fantastic guy, and he's a great saying, as we say, no problem.
No problem, Liam. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.
Everything's no problem, but he's fantastic. He's another champion produced there. It's like a conveyor belt he has up there. He's kind of an unsung hero of Irish boxing, and I'm delighted that he's getting the credit now that he deserves, and long overdue.
Unsung to date, but maybe not for much longer. The heaviest fighter on that conveyor belt is Marty Rogan. He used to be a taxi driver, but since winning a television knockout boxing contest last year, life has changed.
He deserves it. He's been smart. He's showed the most want in all of his competition.
It's obviously opened a lot of doors. I think people took notice of it, promoters, and I think it was seen over in America and showed how much heart and courage that I had to take on the job ahead, which was to defeat 3 men in one night in a matter of a couple of hours, and that I did do.
The heavyweight champion goes to, from the beautiful city of Belfast, Northern Ireland, it's Martin, the entertainer Rogan!
What a performance, what a night.
So it opened an avenue of doors. One of them, i.e. Audley Harrison.
I agree, Harrison takes the last one. I've got it all level. What's Ian John Lewis going to say? I think he's going for Martin Rogan. He is! What an upset! The Irish reign again! They did it last night in Dagenham! Eamon McGee, John Breen, and now Martin Rogan. 11 out of 11. The prize fighter champion takes the prize scalp of the Olympic champion.
Now I'm on to Mr. Matt Skelton, who's world number 6. So it's a big jump.
It's fight night in Birmingham. Marty Rogan is challenging Skelton for the Commonwealth heavyweight title. His evening begins with a 3-hour wait. Former heavyweight champion Danny McAlinden provides some company, and other well-wishers are dropping by.
John Breen here. Yes, I was telling hi.
We're not
Paul Hodkinson trained at the Eastwood Gym.
Paul Hodkinson, former world champion.
So I haven't seen John for 14 years and he hasn't changed one bit.
Oh, it's a good right. My word, that was some right. Now that is the sort of thing that Hodkinson can do to you.
He's always there in the corner, he always telling him to move your head and keep your hands up. It's very easy going, Johnny, you know, but he really pushes to our workouts, you know, and he's such a loving man. So it was good that everyone got on with him. We had a good atmosphere in the gym, and you know, we all got on well.
But one man not getting on so well is Marty Rogan.
No way, Joe. Not a chance of me getting him on. You're saying you can't get him on?
I'll never get them on.
Okay.
Another 2 pairs of gloves are sent for, and eventually...
That's it. That's good.
That's what we do.
That's good.
Can you get your hand there, Matt?
No, it's down as far as it can go there. Right.
But there's another problem.
Now, I don't upset you, but it's got to come back off. I've just got, honestly,
I know. No, I know what you mean. No, I think that'll do.
It's got to come back off, and I've got to show him Skelton just to capture the sweeten the deal.
Right.
But a new row is brewing. This time Matt Skelton isn't happy.
He wants to wear Lonsdale because he's got a sponsorship deal.
I think the situation we're in now is that sort of he's saying that obviously that'll be covered up. He's not willing to fight a fighter showing that emblem. Is that what it is?
So he's wearing Lonsdale. Just two different.
Okay.
You're the official. You're the inspector. It's your decision.
Okay. What we need to do is find out exactly what Charlie has said.
Exactly. Go and see. I heard Charles saying there 2 minutes ago. Both boxers have to wear the same gloves.
We'll go and speak to him and see what he said. Okay.
So off go the officials for more talks. John's next meeting moves to the corridor.
He's got to deal with Lonsdale. He always wears Lonsdale gloves. If you're happy to wear them, that's it, job done. But you can't make him wear them gloves any more than he can make you.
No, I appreciate that.
But the only thing he can do is he's a champion. He does have the choice of gloves, so he could actually say to you, you've got to get the Lonsdales on, but he don't give a fuck. He said, you wear them.
I thought it's
the Lonsdale.
Off camera, a compromise is reached.
I know, I just
I can't let them see them walk. On the top of it. We wanted them, we didn't want the other ones.
Done and dusted? Well, not quite.
No.
No lotion on the body loads.
I never heard that one before.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
You shouldn't, John. You shouldn't put anything on the body. Water, yeah, but no body oil, anything like that.
When's these rules come out?
Been out of years, mate.
We'll dry it off before he's in the ring. Don't worry about it.
Finally, Marty Rogan can concentrate on the job at hand.
That's it, walk away. Doesn't suit you, walk away. Good man, brilliant. Brilliant. This is your title. Turn the crowd off. You turn the crowd off now.
Daniel, side, take a man back.
Take a man side, please, Jim.
Go ahead.
Welcome to the main events, ladies and gentlemen. Presenting and introducing the challenger for the title from Belfast, Northern Ireland, the entertainer, Martin Rogan. Presenting and introducing from Bedford, the reigning European and Commonwealth heavyweight champion, the Bear, Matt Skelton.
The champion Matt Skelton is about half an inch taller and about a stone and a half heavier than his challenger from Belfast, the man with the white trunks, Martin Rogan. A-star referee John Keane is having a good look at them, and initially Skelton was holding, but he's displayed once again a decent bit of footwork, and he's turned Rogan round. Rogan will have to be very clever because while he may be 42 years of age, Matt Skelton can certainly punch. 19 of his 22 wins have come inside the distance, and Rogan has no intention of becoming early victim number 20. Good aggressive start by Skelton, however, and he has a habit of smothering opponents, and Rogan does not want to spend too much time on those ropes. He's got good hand speed himself, Martin Rogan, but Skelton is pretty quick. That's good covering up by Rogan. Got to keep the chin tucked in. If he hangs it out to dry, he will get caught. Again, not much between them, but a slightly better round for Skelton again because he's been coming forward, making Rogan miss, and Rogan says, ha ha ha, ha, ha. Well, there you go. No words needed there. They've had 6 minutes now just to see what the other man is made of, and I wonder what's going through Rogan's mind.
He's the same as he works for half a minute. He had to go in the first round. He's working for half a minute, the last half a minute. Conscious of what you're doing. Okay. Just keep conscious of what you're doing. Never mind that spin, ball, and punch and move around the stadium. Try and move out of the road. Punch you back in the ropes. Try and move out of the road.
It's getting a better rhythm, or?
Brilliant.
If I'm not mistaken, Skelton is puffing a little bit. Maybe he's just underestimated this charming taxi driver from Belfast, who's a pretty decent hurler with Antrim under 21s in his younger days before he took up the noble art of pugilism. Skelton's getting to at the start of this round, and that's not a good start by Rogan. Come back well. Terrific left hand by the champion, and he looks very confident, and for the first time Rogan is in a little bit of trouble. A good solid right to come back though. Skelton now fancies this one. Bit of a buzz round the arena in Birmingham.
The judges have Matt Skelton ahead early on, but as round 5 begins, the tide is changing.
Rogan coming really steaming forward now, and he's catching Skelton. These solid ripping body shots are starting to hurt the champion. That was a good little left, went right in under the radar from Rogan. He's immensely strong, and he's quite happy to stand and dish it out, and I'm not sure that Skelton fancies this. He's bullied a lot of people to defeat over the years, but Martin Rogan is not going to be bullied. Skelton's cut. There is a cut, quite a nasty little one on the outside of the left eyebrow. I don't think it's contest threatening at this stage. John Keane's going to have a look at it. Oh, it is a nasty one. Now, was that a punch or was that a head? It's nasty enough. Box on, says John Keane. It's only a little nick, nothing to worry about. And Frank Warren, the promoter, just shaking his head there at ringside. And now he could be in a bit of trouble here against the hard puncher from Belfast. That was a great left hand by Rogan, and Skelton all of a sudden is starting to wobble. He has lost twice before, but he's never been stopped, and Rogan is really cracking on here. Well, whatever you think about Skelton's fitness level and stamina level, you certainly can't quibble about Rogan in that particular aspect. He has got himself into great shape. Slap from Skelton, nothing there. Skelton is towering by the second. Rogan gets him again. The champion's knees are looking very jelly-like, and he's puffing and blowing. And the sheer strength of Rogan is carrying him through here. This is a great round by Rogan, his best so far. Skelton is having to hold on. John Keane's having a good look at him. Rogan just needs maybe to step back and pick his shot and pick his spot. But what a great finish to the round by the boy from Belfast. Rogan is really boxing out of his socks here. This is a bruiser, this is a battle. What a great contest put up by Rogan. The best round of the championship decider so far, and the Commonwealth champion looking very, very ropey indeed.
Are you sure? Is he going to keep coming? Are you okay? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Tell me if you're not. What? We don't pull you out? No. Right.
Not long to the end of this one, and then 6 more minutes, then can Mark and Rogan almost unbelievably wrest the Commonwealth title from Skelton. A lot of Skelton lands with that, but Rogan just grins. He hardly even moved that solid head of his. It looks like it's been carved from Morn granite.
We were sitting in the corner watching. He's got to dig deep. We come back to the corner. You got to work more. You got to keep working. And he says to me, "Oh, come tired." And he says, "I never heard Martin Rogan say that in my life. Before he tell him thrown, that's what he says. I'm tired." He says, Martin Rogan doesn't say he's tired. Go out and work. And he went and done the job.
Well, Rogan's face really showing signs that he has been in a war of attrition. So 2 rounds to go. Martin Rogan has never been this distance before. Skelton, it's pretty familiar territory to him, but he doesn't look like a man who could certainly go the old 20 championship rounds. John Keane telling off Skelton for pressing down his opponent's head. Rogan, to be fair, is ducking down a little bit on the low side. Nothing much coming through from Skelton. Rogan pops out again to have a little look at him. Solid jab by the Belfast man. And Skelton's making lots of noise, but he got himself caught with a go. It's a great left by Rogan. Little right set him up, and Rogan's caught him with a good left hand. And Skelton isn't a bit of bother this time. Got himself in trouble in the 5th, and here in this, the 11th, he's in all sorts of trouble, and down he goes. There's a bit of a push at the end. He gets up. He says he's fine. He's wobbling. He said to John Keane, "I'm all right." And John Keane's having a good look at him. He says, "Box." Now can Rogan finish this one? He's got him once again. Oh, it's going to be stopped. John Keane comes in, and would you believe it? Martin Rogan has become the heavyweight champion of the Commonwealth at the age of 37, and at only his 12th professional contest. He looked to have done enough had he continued to have won it on points, but the end, when it came, was spectacular. What a finish by Rogan. There was one little right hand and then a left to follow it up, and all of a sudden Skelton, who had been treading on very thin ice, disappeared without trace. There was that left hand, and Rogan wasn't going to let his man away. He really went after him. John Keane had a really good look, and Rogan came straight forward. There was a little throw. Skelton happy enough to go down, complained a little bit, but when they got back up again, there was only going to be one result. There was that cracking left hand. Wonderful shot. Skelton all over the place, and Rogan really went for him. Hammer and tongs. Didn't care whether his chin was in the air or not. He knew what was going to happen. And when Skelton got up again, Rogan went straight after him, and Skelton started to crumble, and the referee stopped it. The towel was on its way in, and Martin Rogan has become the heavyweight champion of the Commonwealth.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute 21 seconds of round 11, your referee.
Okay,
What's Skelton at his match? Joe Matt at his match. Where's the doctor? The doctor wants me good. Feels brilliant. Feels fine. Hello. Can somebody please take these gloves off?
I've got in double vision.
If I had double vision, I wouldn't want to see two of you, Mickey.
Oh, don't drink alcohol tonight. Okay?
Don't take alcohol?
Not tonight.
Put your head away. I think I'm going to have to check you.
Please leave these instructions over here.
Right. Who's that guy was telling me about the drug test? We've gone. His 2 stone didn't come in yet. That hurt me. He wobbled me. He thought he had me. But the plan had been put together, the A-team, which we are. And this is my wee wife. Here. Over. This is the girl. This is the girl. This is the girl that goes through more of a fight than what I do. She's here supporting me, and that's the biggest star in the hockey. I'm not the star, she is.
Well done to the whole team.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He's an aggressive fight for a world title. If Frank Warren just told Barry he should be a European champion, because your man was a European champion. He's lost his European title. He wouldn't defend the title against Rogan. He was taken off him now because he was beat. How good does that make Rogan? Well, the gym is buzzing now. Everybody's improving. Conor Rogan's performances in the ring. Everybody's getting the G-string. They're not getting a wee bit of Rogan can do it, we can do it. They work hard, they'll do it. We'll go through the year unbeaten. Nobody in the gym is going to get beaten this year. I think at the end of the year we'll have 2 or 3 champions. Possibly world champions.
There's loads of people in that gym. He has got the best out of them because he's good at what he does.
I think once you come into this gym and give John Breen 100% of you, of your body and of your ability, he's a very, very happy man.
This year is going to be a very big year for this gym. Just for the love of the sport, John just loved to have another couple of world champions, and that's what I really hope for.